My name is Diana Chen, and for 12 years, I believed I had built the perfect life. My husband Marcus and I lived in a cream-colored colonial on Maple Street with our son, little Ethan, who had just turned 5. Marcus worked as an architect downtown, and I taught music at the elementary school 3 blocks away. Every morning felt like a routine blessed by repetition. I would make pancakes while Marcus read the newspaper. Ethan would stumble down the stairs in his dinosaur pajamas, rubbing sleep from his dark eyes. We were a family, at least, that's what I thought. That Tuesday morning started like any other. The autumn air carried the scent of wet leaves as Ethan, Marcus, and I walked together toward the train station. Ethan's small hand gripped mine on one side. Marcus's fingers intertwined with my other. My son chattered about his kindergarten class, about the blocks they were building, about his friend Sophie who could already write her whole name. Marcus kissed my cheek at the platform before boarding his usual train. I watched him disappear into the crowd of morning commuters, his briefcase swinging at his side. Then Ethan and I turned back toward home, planning to leave for school in 20 minutes. But as we reached our street, Ethan's voice dropped to a whisper. His grip on my hand tightened. "Mom," he said quietly, glancing up at me with worried eyes. "We can't go back home." I stopped walking. "What do you mean, sweetheart?" His lower lip trembled. "Last night, I got up to get water. I heard Dad talking on the phone in his office. He was talking about us, about getting rid of us." He sounded angry. The world seemed to tilt slightly. I knelt down, bringing myself to his level. "Ethan, are you sure? What exactly did you hear?" He said our names. "Yours and mine," he said. "They won't be a problem much longer. Mom, I'm scared." Children don't lie about fear. I could see it written across his face, the same face that looked so much like mine, with those expressive eyes and that gentle soul. I pulled him close, my mind racing. "Okay," I whispered. "Okay, baby, let's watch the house for a minute." We found a bench across the street, partially hidden by the Henderson's oak tree. Ethan pressed against my side, and I wrapped my arm around him. We waited. 10 minutes passed. 15. Then a car pulled into our driveway. Not Marcus's car. A silver sedan I didn't recognize. The driver's door opened, and a woman stepped out. She was tall, with auburn hair pulled back in a sleek ponytail, wearing a burgundy dress that looked expensive. She didn't knock. She used a key. My key. Or rather, a copy of my key. My breath caught in my throat. She disappeared inside. Minutes later, she emerged with Marcus's laptop, some files from his office, and several of my jewelry boxes. She loaded them into her trunk with practiced efficiency, like she'd done this before. Then Marcus appeared. He had clearly never left for work. He must have circled back. He walked out of our house with this woman, his hand resting casually on the small of her back, and they stood in our driveway talking. Even from across the street, I could see him smile at her. The same smile he gave me on our wedding day. They kissed. Long and familiar. Then she drove away with my belongings. Ethan buried his face in my coat. "Who was that lady?" "I don't know, sweetheart. But I was determined to find out." I took Ethan to my sister Rachel's house across town. She lived alone in a small apartment, worked as a nurse, and had always told me I'd count on her for anything. When I explained what we'd seen, her face hardened. "Stay here as long as you need," she said firmly. "Both of you." Over the next week, I became someone I'd never been before. A detective, an investigator of my own life. I hired a private investigator named Jim Torres, a former police officer with kind eyes who took my case seriously. What he uncovered broke my heart into smaller and smaller pieces. The woman's name was Vanessa Sterling. She worked at Marcus's firm as a project manager. They'd been having an affair for 2 years. 2 years of lies, of late nights at the office, of business trips that probably never involved business at all. But it went deeper than infidelity. Jim discovered that Marcus had been systematically moving our assets. Our savings account had been drained to nearly nothing. He'd taken out a second mortgage on our house without my knowledge, forging my signature. He'd opened credit cards in my name and maxed them out. The life insurance policy he'd insisted I increase last year, the beneficiary had been changed to Vanessa, Diana, Jim said gently, showing me the documents in his office. I think you need to consider the possibility that your husband was planning something worse than divorce. The words hung in the air like poison. Ethan's whispered warning echoed in my mind. They won't be a problem much longer. What do I do? My voice sounded small, even to myself. Document everything. We go to the police. We build a case. And you stay somewhere he can't find you. The investigation took months. Marcus reported Ethan and me as missing, playing the concerned husband and father on local news. I watched from Rachel's apartment, seeing him cry crocodile tears, begging for our safe return. It made me sick, but Jim had gathered enough evidence. Bank records, emails between Marcus and Vanessa discussing their plans for the future, text messages about the life insurance policy. Most damning of all were recorded conversations where Marcus discussed staging an accident, making it look like I'd lost control of my car with Ethan in it. The police arrested him on a cold November morning. I watched from an unmarked car as they let him out in handcuffs. Vanessa was arrested at her apartment an hour later as an accessory and for fraud. The trial was public and painful. I had to testify, had to relive the moment my 5-year-old son saved our lives with his innocent. Warning: Ethan never had to appear in court, thank God, but his recorded statement was played, his small voice describing what he'd heard. Marcus was convicted of conspiracy to commit murder, fraud, and a dozen other charges. Vanessa received a lesser sentence but still went to prison. Our house was seized, along with everything Marcus had stolen. I got some of it back, enough to start over. Starting over is harder than anyone tells you. Rachel let us stay with her for 6 months while I found a new job in a different town. I took a position at a middle school 40 miles away, teaching music to students who reminded me why I'd chosen this profession in the first place. Ethan struggled at first. He had nightmares. He'd wake up crying, asking if his dad was going to come back. Therapy helped. So did time. So did Rachel's steady presence, bringing him to the park, reading him stories, showing him that there were still good people in the world. I struggled too, in different ways. Trust became a foreign concept. I looked at every kind gesture with suspicion, wondering what ulterior motive might lurk beneath. A colleague inviting me to lunch felt like a trap. A friendly conversation with another parent at Ethan's new school felt dangerous, but slowly, so slowly, barely noticed it happening, we healed. 3 years later, Ethan is 8 now, thriving in his new school. He plays soccer and has friends who come over for playdates. He still remembers what happened, but it doesn't define him anymore. He's learned resilience, learned that even when the people we trust most betray us, we can survive. I've learned, too. I've learned that love isn't always what we think it is. Real love doesn't plot in the darkness. Real love doesn't lie. Real love doesn't value money and desire over the lives of a wife and child. I've also learned about kindness from unexpected places. Jim Torres still checks in on us occasionally, making sure we're okay. Rachel has become more than a sister. She's our anchor. And my students, with their untainted enthusiasm and genuine affection, remind me daily that most people are good as for revenge. I thought I'd feel satisfaction when Marcus was sentenced. I thought I'd feel vindicated, triumphant even. Instead, I felt sad. Sad for the life we could have had if he'd been who I thought he was. Sad for Ethan, who deserved better than a father who would plan such darkness. But sadness isn't weakness. Sadness is proof that we loved, that we tried, that we believed in something beautiful. And choosing to move forward, to build a new life, to trust again even when it's terrifying, that's not just survival, that's courage. Every morning now, Ethan and I walk to his school together, just the two of us. Sometimes Rachel joins us. We talk about his day ahead, about his dreams, about the small joys that fill ordinary life. And every morning, I thank that little 5-year-old boy who trusted his instincts, who spoke up even when he was frightened. He saved us both. And now, together, we're building something Marcus's betrayal could never touch. A life filled with genuine love, hard-won wisdom, and the kind of resilience that only comes from surviving the unsurvivable. The house on Maple Street is gone, but we've found home in something stronger than walls and windows. We've found it in each other.